Nando Parrado has moved global audiences through sharing his story of survival, resilience, and determination in the Andes. His timeless takeaways from his experience resonate with global audiences on a new level. Parrado's virtual and in-person formats provide a front row seat to his message of overcoming obstacles, how to face severe isolation, and maintain hope. Now, 50 years since the rugby team's rescue, he continues to bring a fresh perspective to each audience member.
Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow, so live your present with intensity, with serenity, and with love. Thank you very much.
Welcome to a special edition of GDA Live. We are filming this the week of Thanksgiving in the United States, and that's so appropriate because of our special guest, Nando Parrado. There would be no GDA speakers without Nando, and we are so grateful for our long-term partnership that spans 27 years. Welcome to Dallas, Nando.
Thank you, Gail. It's an honor to be here and share time with you and all your team here at GDA Speakers. I came to give a speech in Las Vegas for a financial company, and on the way back I stopped here in Dallas to say hello and to spend some time with you.
That's wonderful. Well, we knew that you were coming, and so we went out on social media and we gave fans from all over the world the opportunity to ask you some questions. So if you're okay with it, I'd like to start in with the questions. So the first one is from Randy Contreras, and he asked the question, is it true that Netflix is preparing a series or a movie about the survivors of the Andes? A hug and greetings from Peru.
Hola, Randy, how are you? I cannot speak very much about this new film, but it's going to be a fantastic film. It will be shown on theaters before, and then it will be aired on Netflix all over the world. It will be a fantastic movie directed by Juan Antonio Bayona. A very probably difficult movie to see, but it will be unforgettable.
Oh, we're so excited. Nando, do you know when the movie will come out?
I think the movie will be released mid-2023.
Perfect.
Those are the plans, but movie making is sometimes very strange, and they are still finalizing some details and editing. It takes time.
Nando shared a story with me, which I think people can really appreciate. Originally, the idea was maybe the film would come out in conjunction with the 50th anniversary, which is in December. And he asked the director, when are you going to release it? And his answer was, when it's perfect. So I think we all have something really to look forward to. Okay, great question, Randy. And now from Lisa Perry. After 50 years, what are your most prominent thoughts regarding your incredible experience in the Andes?
Hi, Melissa. It's been many years, you know. Life is full of different adventures, experiences, and I cannot release my life from the Andes, but it doesn't rule my life. The second part of my only life has been very intense, you know, very nice. I did a lot of sports, I worked a lot, and I had a fantastic family, which is my legacy. So I don't think too much about the Andes, but they probably have shaped me the way I take decisions, because the biggest decisions of my life have already been taken.
She also asked the question, is it difficult to deal with people who have no idea what it's really like to be cold, hungry, or facing difficulties?
No, because I think it's an interesting story, and people ask me many times about what happened to me. It happens the same to a celebrity or a sportsman or a sportswoman or an actor, people want to know about your life, but I mean, I cannot deny that it happened to me, so I'm always willing to answer the questions when they are intelligent questions. No.
That's great. Ann Sheppers asks, have you experienced any PTSD that's interfered with your life after the rescue? You always seem to be so positive, she says.
I don't even know what PTSD is. I don't have a clue about that. We are Latins, we are South Americans, we live life maybe on a different way. I mourned my family and my friends in the Andes. When I came back from that ordeal, my father told me, don't waste the second part of your only life. So I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful that 16 guys came out of there. And I'm grateful that now we are almost 180 with our wives, sons, daughters, and grandchildren.
You mentioned that there are 180, and I know this year is very special because of the 50th anniversary. Can you share with people what happens on December 22nd every year?
December 22nd is the date that we were rescued from the Andes. So every year, on December 22nd, we get together on our rugby club or on the home of one of the survivors, and we commemorate. We celebrate life, but we also remember the friends and the families who stayed up there in the Andes. So it's a very important date for us, and usually nobody misses it.
That's awesome. So they only include the survivors and their spouses and then their children. And that's where the 180 came from the 16 survivors.
It would be impossible to have, friends and, families in third and fourth degree. It would be, we would need a stadium. So only spouses, children, and grandchildren.
So Nando, what are the other survivors doing now?
Well, it's been 50 years since we came out of that place of the Andes, and they have all been doing great. We have Roberto, my dear friend. He's a pediatric cardiologist. Carlitos worked on an advertising agency. We have ranchers, farmers. We have an architect, a notary. Gustavo is the head of a chemical company. So they're all doing okay. Having been through what we went through, they don't want to waste their lives. So they have been working a lot on their careers, on their families, on their sports, and they're really all fantastic human beings.
I don't know if you remember Greg Dale, but Greg is someone that used to work at GDA, and he submitted 2 questions. One, when you share the details of the tragic experience that you and your teammates faced in the Andes, you have to relive the experience. Does it take a toll on you personally? Is it difficult to relive the story?
Well, Greg, no, it's like, something that I read or that I saw on a movie. It's nothing that really troubles me in my mind or whatever. I don't think every minute of my life about what I had to go through in the Andes. Sometimes if people ask me about the Andes, I go back, to that folder in my brain, and I take it out and I speak about the Andes. But my life has been, so many things happened in the second part of my life. So many things that fill my brain with many beautiful things also.
I think that's a beautiful part of the story is, when Nando shares the story with audiences, it's almost guaranteed no one in the audience has ever survived a plane crash at cruising altitude. Maybe on takeoff, maybe on landing, but never at cruising altitude. And it's almost guaranteed that no one has been stranded in the mountains for 72 days. But at the end of the presentation, everybody relates to it. They personalize the experience about something in their lives.
Yeah, I have found that every person in this planet, with my experience talking all over the world because of what you did in my life. I mean, you came into my life and some things changed. And I find people, they have their problems. They have their own mountains to climb, even if they don't see the mountain. But it's not that I'm a special person, a hero of anything. You just adapt to what life brings. And your mountain could be a financial thing, an illness, a relationship, a business problem, whatever. And you have to climb that mountain. And sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's impossible. Sometimes, I see all these slogans, you can make it, everything is possible. And I say, I don't know if everything is possible. You have to be very lucky, you have to work a lot, and you might fail. But if you fail doing things that are important, at least you were trying. The thing is to stay, sitting down and not doing anything.
One of my favorite things I've seen Nando write when someone shares their story and he signs a book, he says, we all have our own Andes. And I just think that's the impact that the story has. So.
Yeah, why should I be here sitting down talking to you about the Andes? Anybody could be here. I didn't choose this. It just happened in my life. Destiny crashes you without any notice. And I can tell you that the best day of your life and the worst day of your life, they have the same dawn. You wake up one day, it could be the best day of your life. It happened to me. I thought my life would be perfect. It was, dialed, and something happened, and I was very wrong. So the best day of your life and the worst day of your life can have the same dawn, and that's incredible.
That is incredible. When we started our conversation today, Nando mentioned that he had been in Las Vegas for a financial forum. And it was interesting because there was a lineup of 6 or 7 speakers. And one of them is a friend of ours, Allison Levine, who is an experienced climber. She has gone to Everest at least twice. And it was so interesting to see her reaction. Being someone who is a trained climber, she was really impressed and really blown away about what you were able to do without equipment, without food, without communications. It's simply unbelievable.
I was in awe at what Alison said about me. She's an experienced climber. I really thank her. And it makes me think a lot that we were the worst and the most probably team of guys to die on a situation like this. We come from the sea, from the ocean, from the sand. We had never seen a mountain, snow, or ice in our lives. We shouldn't have been alive. And I think that's part of the biggest thing about this story. We shouldn't have been alive. I mean, this is a story for Norwegians, Germans, Swiss people, Russians, people from the Himalayas, but guys from the coast in Uruguay survived one of the most incredible epic survival stories in the history of mankind. And maybe it's a mystery,
Maybe that's why the title of your New York Times best-selling book is Miracle in the Andes. It truly was a miracle. Okay, I'm going to end with one last question, which is from Sarah Solberg-Sloniger. And she asked a question that people ask all the time, and that is, how can I hear you speak in person?
Well, that depends a lot of where you are. I've been all over the world with Gail and GDA speakers. It's a fantastic speakers bureau. They have given me the chance to meet so many interesting people, to meet people that I never thought I would meet, and to be in places that I never thought I would be in my life. So the chance is to look up to any venues, any events that will have me, especially in the US and also in Canada, Europe, and let's see. But I can tell you something. If you see me there, come to me. I mean, I'm not somebody that you can think I'm a hero, unapproachable. No, come to me. I like to speak with people. I didn't want to be on that airplane, so you could be on that airplane, So I'm not different to anybody in the world. I'm just somebody who was on the wrong place at the wrong time.
I know we get asked the question frequently, and many times it is a private event for members of an association or employees of an organization. Personally, with the 50th anniversary and the new movie, my fingers are crossed that we'll have some sort of a public venue next year, and if we do, we'll certainly publicize it on Nando's site. So
yeah, that would be a very interesting thing. I've spoken also to universities and schools and in many places, but sometimes for the average public, it's not easy to have access to one of my conferences, which I would love to. I would love to give a conference on, on a stadium for 80,000 people.
I would too. If you're out there and you want to fund that,
But
call us.
if you can do it, I would do it gladly.
Okay. Well, Nando, as always, thank you so much for your friendship and the opportunity to create a company around your story. It's just been an amazing journey.
Well, life is an amazing journey, so don't waste any breath, don't waste any day of your life, because, like 15 minutes ago, I was 21. I said, what happened in my life? And I'm here now. So that's what I don't want to do now. I don't waste any minute of my life.
Thank you, Nando.